everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Erica, and today I'm going to be working on something that I've never really worked on before. I don't think I've actually ever made a snail, but I went ahead and I did some Google images, and they got like lots of different little things of snails. Like, we got this one, it's kind of weird looking, right? Like, let me back the light away so you guys can see a little better. And then there's, like, they got little horns and stuff. Like, you can see the horns really good on that one. So yeah, I decided that I would go ahead and make a snail. I don't know why I would make a snail, but I'm going to make a snail. So, to get started, I am going to be using polymer clay. So I like to mention that I haven't really been paying much attention to my channel. I've been focusing more on my Etsy shop. I know I've been doing like lots of little, I guess you would say ad videos for my Etsy shop, like showing you what's in my Etsy and stuff like that. But I've missed doing actual videos, but I just haven't had the time. So I thought that this would be something simple that I could go ahead and show you guys how to make. So this brown, I actually mixed it myself. I'm going to move the light a little closer so you can see a little better. Or at least I feel like you can see a little better. I don't know. Yeah, the lighting is not that great. Maybe one day I'll invest in some actual lighting, but as of right now, it's fine. I mean, like, as long as I can see it. I don't know if you guys can see it because it's kind of looking... Okay, there we go. That's a little better. Okay, so this is a beige, and this one right here, it was just brown and orange, and I mixed it together to get like a gingerbready color. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so I've come up with this color. I try to like zoom in on the brightness a little bit, so maybe you guys can see it a little better. I wonder if you'll be able to see it without... Hey, okay, you can see it without the light too. Cool. Alright, so I went ahead and mixed it. I didn't mix it like completely because you can still see a lot of the brown and stuff, which is kind of what I wanted. So I'm going to go ahead and make the body. And how I'm going to do that is I'm just going to make it into a snake. And until I get the desired thickness and size that I want. I don't want a gigantic snail because I don't know what I would do with a big snail. I want something kind of small. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to do this, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so now that I have my desired thickness and whatnot, I'm going to go ahead and take my X-Acto knife, and I'm just going to cut a little bit because I don't need a whole lot. Because like I said, I don't really know what to do with the snails. But now I'm just going to hold it down just a little bit, and I'm going to use my finger. See if you can zoom in a little bit. Oh no, it darkened it. Okay, it's lightened back up. Okay, so now I just did that. Like, that's basically what I did. And now I'm going to make the horns. And I feel like the horns I'm going to need to pre-bake first, just because it's going to be easier to go in. You could totally skip this part and use wire, but I'm going to use clay. So I'm just going to go ahead and make this super skinny as I possibly can, and then I'm just going to cut it that much. And before I cut it again, I'm just going to pre-bake it, and I'll meet you back here. Okay, you guys, turn the brightness a little bit. I went ahead and I looked up snail habitats in a jar. I don't know if you can like really tell, because I mean, like, you can't even see the words right there. But anyways, I looked at that because I kind of want to make this a habitat too. Maybe this can be like a pet for one of my dolls or something. So I'm currently looking for a jar of inspiration. I've never thought about keeping a snail as a pet, especially in a jar. So I mean, like, you probably could do whatever you wanted, but I kind of want some inspiration. So, let's see. It looks like seashells, and dirt, and some plants for foliage, I guess you would call it. And I don't know, maybe some bark and rocks or something. I honestly can't even tell. I mean, even on camera you can barely even tell. But yeah, I think I'm just going to possibly, I'm going to get my pen and I'll be back. But anyways, I'm going to go ahead and try and doodle something. I have these little jars that I got from the store at Dollar Tree. And my aunt had given me some too because she didn't like it because they weren't something that she could use and she didn't know what to use them for, but I totally do. So I am going to try and use the jars. So these are the jars I'm going to use, and they've got like a metal lid that goes to like right here. So this is going to be metal, but I mean, like, you totally don't need a lid if you're going to keep the snail. I don't know, maybe you would. So your snail doesn't escape, of course. But I'm not going to drill any holes in it because it's clay and the clay doesn't need to breathe. So I'm going to go ahead and make my plant. I think I might just make my plant out of like clay, possibly. I really don't know. I know I don't have any sticks in the house, and it is currently 5:40. So, I probably could go outside and find some sticks when I take Muffin out to go potty. But I think I'm going to need a rock, a twig, sand for the dirt, or sea salt. Because I don't want to actually use real dirt. Or I could even use coffee grounds, but I don't feel like drinking any coffee to actually use that, because I don't like to waste my coffee. And I may use some Mod Podge, Dimensional Magic. So I'm going to be working on that, and for the plant, I might just use might use some silk faux plant or clay. So I'm going to work on this a little later, but waiting for the horns to go ahead and pre-bake. So I'll see you back. Okay, I'm going to see if I can turn the brightness up again. So right now I have my glass plate that I always bake my stuff on. And the reason why I already have this is because I actually baked my clay on it. So this is that little bitty horn piece. I'm going to go ahead, I didn't bake it like all the way, so it is still kind of soft. So I just went ahead and I cut it. As you can see, I mean, like, it looks like freaking rice. So now I have my little snail, and it's still, like, it's not dried or anything. So now I'm just going to take my little horns carefully, because it is fragile, and I'm just going to, like, shove it in the head. I'm just going to, like, put it there, if I can get it. I don't use tweezers. I mean, like, I totally should invest in a pair of tweezers, but I don't tweeze anything, so I'm just gonna try. Oh, it's so tiny. The wire would probably be better for this, but I don't know where it's at. Guys, so while that is pre-baking the body and the horns, I'm gonna take that brown clay that was the brown and the orange. I don't know if you guys can see because the brightness keeps turning off. Okay, so I'm using this, and I'm gonna go ahead and roll out a snake of it. And I did the exact same thing with this color brown, but I mixed it in with some light green, and you can kind of see it a little bit. I mean, like, I got some on my nails, that color green. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll these into a snake, like so. And then after I get it into a snaky shape, I am going to go ahead and keep it just like that. And then I'm going to take some of that beige body color that I use, and I'm just going to take a little bit, and it was already rolled into a snake. And I'm going to press them together like this. I mean, like, the shell, you can have so much fun with the shell if you wanted to. But from the pictures that I've seen, they have like a brownish color shell. I don't know, I've never really seen a snail in person before. So I'm just going to go ahead and squish these together like that, but not completely. And I'm just going to twist carefully. It kind of looks like a little screw noodle. And I'm just going to continue to do this until I get the desired thickness that I want, as in the colors. Okay, I don't know if you can tell all of the different colors and textures. Probably. Maybe you can. I mean, like, I feel like I can. I feel like I can see the colors. I don't know if you guys can. But anyways, now I am just going to carefully shape it into kind of like a cinnamon roll. And I'm just going to do that. I don't know where that little pinky orange color came from, but it's like right there. You can't see it, but I'm just gonna do that. And now, I actually have my snail already baked. I'm gonna add a little bit more liquid clay into the horns, and I'm going to add some liquid clay right here. So, and I'm currently outside looking for some rocks, and I'm gonna look for some sticks too. There's Muffin. She's so cute. Muffin, did you find anything good? Did you find anything good? No?
Okay, so I currently just have like this little metal thingy. I mean, you can use whatever you want to mix in with it. This is brown paint. It's called Burnt Umber by the Apple Barrel, and this is just regular old tacky glue. And I'm going to go ahead and use my silicone tool. You can use whatever, of course. And I'm just going to go ahead and mix this together. It's kind of going to give me like a chocolate pudding consistency. And I'm just doing this. And now I'm going to take some, this is actually sand, and I'm just going to, say it's sand, and I'm just going to pour it in here. This is going to resemble my dirt, because I don't want to use coffee grounds, because I don't want to make coffee because it's not that cold outside. I only like coffee if it's cold out, and it's not here in Oklahoma. So I'm just going to go ahead and mix this up until it's all combined together. So I'll see you back here. Okay, so now that I'm back and I've got my sand mixture, I'm going to try and brighten it a little bit. So now that I got my sand mixture pretty good, I might need to make more later on, but I'd rather use this, what I have right now, just to see. And now I'm just going to put it in my jar. Try not to get it on the sides or anything. So I might not use this one, I might just use, I have another tool here, and here it is. So I'm just going to use this tool. It's a silicone tool too, and it's just got a better scooper on it. And I'm just going to go ahead and pack this in here, in the jar, and I'm going to do this off camera because it's just better off camera. Went outside with Muffin. I did find some twigs and some rocks. I did show some footage, I guess. I think I did, of the twigs and rocks that I found. So I'm going to incorporate these somehow in the jar. I don't have tweezers, so it's going to be a little difficult to get it inside that little jar with my big fingers. So I think this will be like a good size. You know, maybe the snail would want to climb up on it someday or something. I think these rocks are a good size for the jar as well, because I did find some little bitty ones. It's kind of like gravel, and every time I go outside barefoot, these darn things always hurt my feet. So I'm going to incorporate these somehow in the jar. So here is the jar, and I did like smush it down with the end of my tool to make sure that the sand would stick to it. I'm trying to make it look like soil. I don't know if it's doing a good job or not, but it's okay. So now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to add some of the rocks. So I'm just going to dump them in there, and I'm going to use my dyeing tool to kind of mush it in there. And I'm going to add like a couple of these. I don't need a whole lot. Let me see. Okay. I'm just going to smush it in the faux dirt. So, well, we're done. No, I'm just kidding. We're not done yet. Because now I need to somehow add some greenery to this. And I have a theory in mind, and I'm actually already testing it out to see if it actually works before I show it to you. So my theory did work. I'm going to see if I can brighten it up a little bit so you can see a little better. So I took the twig, and it's just like a very skinny one. And for the greenery, I just had dipped it into, first I took the twig, and I dipped it into some tacky glue. And just to get like a good dollop on there. And for the greenery-ish part, I just used this. This is really good seasoning. It tastes so good. And I have a bunch of this because I actually found it at Dollar Tree. So I just used this, and I just like, I'll show you my dirty palette. So tacky glue, and then I just like swished around and the tacky glue stick into it, and it did that. So that is how I got the green on here. So I'm just going to add a little bit more tacky glue, and I'm going to try and get it somewhere in this jar. I'm going to do this off camera just because I don't have tweezers, and it's not going to look good when I'm trying to jam it in there. So I'll meet you back here.
To focus, like I can't tell, but there is my little snail in its little habitat, like with the lid. Ignore the remote.